What it do, my good people in the YouTube world? It's your boy B, and I'm right back up at y'all with another one. You feel me? I told y'all I was gonna be more consistent, and this is me just keeping my word to the people. You know what I mean? And like I always say, man, take your time out to subscribe, like, dislike, say whatever you want, man. You know, like I said before, man, it's tough skin over here, and plus, all I want to do is get people speaking about boxing, man. For me, boxing is my favorite sport, and I could go into stories about that, but that's not what it's about today. Today, we're going to get into the punch stat numbers, man. The punch stat numbers with Floyd Mayweather and Manny, the Pac-Man Pacquiao, all right? And recently, I've been hearing a lot of things. I'm hearing a bunch of celebrities say that Manny Pacquiao is going to outwork Mayweather, that Mayweather's going to get hit more than he's ever gotten hit in any fight. And they also say that Floyd Mayweather has problems with southpaws. But the only way we can get to the bottom of this is if we start looking at the numbers, all right? And this is the disclaimer. I'm going to let you guys know that I've taken Floyd Mayweather's last 10 fights, and I've also taken Manny Pacquiao's last 10 fights. And what I'm going to do with it, I'm going to crunch the numbers. I'm going to look at the percentages that people landed on them. I'm going to look at the percentages that they landed on people. And hopefully we can get some clarity and hopefully come up with a prediction and see what's going to happen. Now, the first thing we're going to do is look at Manny Pacquiao's last 10 opponents, all right? This is in no particular order, all right? Joshua Clottey, Antonio Margarito, Brandon Rios, Miguel Cotto, Tim Bradley Jr. 1 and 2, Sugar Shane Mosley, Chris Algieri, and Juan Marquez, his third and fourth fight with Juan Marquez, all right? And in all those fights, Manny Pacquiao has thrown 7,414 punches. Out of those 7,414 punches, he landed 2,511 of those punches. And when you do the math, that equals out to about 33.9% of the punches that Manny Pacquiao has thrown have landed. All right? And in his last 12 or his last 10 fights, he's gone a total of 114 rounds. Now, we go to the other side and we look at Floyd Mayweather. All right. He had the fight with Juan Marquez. He had 2 fights with Marcos Maidana. That's Maidana 1 and 2. He had a fight with Sal Canelo Alvarez. He had a fight with Sugar Shane. He had a fight with Oscar De La Hoya. He had a fight with Robert Guerrero. A fight with Ricky Hatton. He had a fight with Victor Ortiz and Miguel Cotto. All right. And in all of those fights, Floyd Mayweather has thrown a combined 4,408 punches. And out of those 4,408 punches, he landed a total of 1,909 punches. And that equals out to about 43.3% of the punches that Floyd Mayweather has thrown has landed. It's pretty impressive, man. 43.3% of the punches that you throw land. So we already know that Manny Pacquiao is a lot more busy throwing 7,414 punches. But Floyd has thrown, a little less than half of it. But he landed 1,909 punches, while Manny Pacquiao has landed 2,500 punches or whatever. All right. So his Mayweather's rate is much higher, about 33% for Pacquiao and 43%, about 10% higher for Mayweather. So we know that Mayweather is the more accurate fighter. However, this surprised me. People say that Manny Pacquiao's defense is so shaky. However, his opponents have thrown a total of 5,261 punches against him in the last 10 fights. However, they only landed 1,311. I'm going to say that again. They threw a total of 5,261 punches, but only landed 1,311. So that means that his opponents are landing at a rate of 24.9% against Manny Pacquiao. And for somebody with shaky defense, that's pretty impressive. All right. But what we can see from that is that Manny Pacquiao may get hit with punches. However, his offense is basically his defense. You know, he's landing so many punches on these guys, but he's only getting hit with 24.9% of the punches that they throw. Now, with Floyd Mayweather, we see that his opponents have thrown a total of 5,195 punches against him, but they only landed 1,056 punches on him. So basically, they're landing at 20.3%. That's 20.3%. So Floyd Mayweather is actually doubling the percentage landing of people that throw punches against him. All right, so that's an amazing accuracy from Floyd Mayweather, and he also limits what other people land against him. Now, that could mean something or it could not mean anything, but one thing I can tell you is this: Manny Pacquiao is going to use his offense as his defense, and opponents only land 23% of the punches that they throw against him. You know, while Floyd is very accurate, you know, how much of that will Mayweather land on him? You know, that's something that we need to ask. Also, when you break the numbers down, you got to look at this. Manny Pacquiao thrown 1,231 punches against Joshua Clottey. And if anybody know Clottey, they know he just basically throws his guard up. Antonio Margarito, defense is non-existent. And, Manny Pacquiao threw a total of 1,069 punches on him. Against Brandon Rios, Manny threw 790 punches, who was another slow, flat-footed fighter. What I want to draw attention to is the people who actually moved against Manny Pacquiao. Now, this is a more telling sign of what's going to happen in the fight because, of course, these guys don't have the defense of Mayweather. However, they do move similar to Mayweather. All right? So, against Tim Bradley, Shane Mosley, Chris Algieri, Juan Marquez, number 3, and Tim Bradley, number 2. I omitted Juan Marquez number 4 because that obviously ended in a knockout in 6 rounds. So basically, when we look at that percentage, we've noticed something. That Manny Pacquiao, in his last 10 fights, he threw a total of 65 punches per round against these guys. That's 65 punches per round. However, it drops by 11 when he faces people who move. All right? So instead of throwing 65 punches per round, he throws 54.8 punches per round against the last 5 movers that he faced. Against everybody else, he lands 22 punches per round. However, against movers, he only lands 18 punches per round. All right? I tried to do the same thing with Mayweather and see what happens. But, you know, honestly, a telltale sign of somebody who can do it all is where you can't find, you know, any patterns in the people who he's facing. While with Manny Pacquiao, we see that his output drastically drops when he's facing someone who's moving. As opposed to Floyd, people say he has problem with southpaws. However, when we look at the southpaws who he faced Zab Judah. He faced Chop Chop Corley, Shambe Mitchell, Robert Guerrero, and Victor Ortiz. These are the 5 southpaws who he faced. Against these southpaws, Mayweather, he actually throw 16.8 punches per round. In his last 10 fights, he's thrown, he's landed 17 punches per round. There's really no drop off. It's only 0.2 difference in the punches that he land against southpaws as opposed to the punches that he landed in his last 10 fights. Also, against southpaws, Floyd throws 38.3 punches per round. In the last 10 fights, he's thrown 39.4 punches per round. There's no drop off. People say Floyd get hit more by southpaws. However, out the 5 southpaws I just mentioned, they've thrown a total of 1,990 punches against Floyd. However, they only landed 395. When you do the math on that, that's a total of 19.8% of what they land on Floyd Mayweather. Wow. you compare that to what everybody else does against Floyd, and you'll see that actually in his last 10 fights, they landed 20.3% of their punches, but Southpaws actually have a less percentage against him. So can we kill that rumor that Floyd Mayweather has problems with Southpaws? And just looking at the numbers, we're going to see that Manny Pacquiao's obviously going to throw more punches. However, Floyd has a great percentage of, or great track record of defense against Southpaws. So we got to ask, can Manny Pacquiao truly outwork Floyd? And if he does outwork Floyd, how accurate will he be, or how many punches is he going to land? And if Floyd's landing at 43.7% against Southpaws, and Manny Pacquiao makes a lot of mistakes, what's going to happen? Keep it tuned to your boy B Live, man, and we definitely gonna get more into these numbers, man. Next week, I'm gonna talk about the weights, man. Because this is something big, man. Is Manny Pacquiao the smallest person Floyd fought in the last 10 fights? Is Floyd the biggest that Manny Pacquiao fought in the last 10 fights, man? Let me know what y'all think and keep it tuned in at In the Loop Radio, man. It's your boy B Live, and I'm out of here. Yeah.